Hey, what's up, everyone? We are live here today. So excited with all these amazing leaders who earned my Palm Springs Leader Retreat. And you guys, it was such an amazing experience. We all left with our cups being filled, our hearts being full, and just being fulfilled in our businesses again. And so we wanted to pass that on to you guys. I wish everyone could be there. I wish I could somehow spoil all 21,000 of you, but it's just not possible. So we are going to try to share all the goodness that we learned this weekend. And I thought I would go first. How we're going to go about it is I'm going to go first and then give each one of them the mic to share some of their takeaways for just a few minutes. And we've got some other leaders that will be hopping on a little later. So stay tuned. But one of my, I would say there were several, and I wrote them down so I wouldn't forget them. But, one of my biggest takeaways on the way to the retreat, I was actually listening to an audiobook about, the importance of community. It's called Built to Belong. And once I got there, I was like, wow, I really needed this, like more than I knew I needed. And I think everyone will agree with that, right? I think with, us all being like, with 2020 and the whole pandemic, like we've kind of been getting used to being a little bit of homebodies and and many of us work from home and don't have other jobs. And so we're kind of used to it. And when we got together as a community, it was so refreshing just to have other women who are struggling with the same struggles and going through the same, many of the same things. And that was just really, really something that we all agreed we needed more than we knew we needed. And so that was just something I took away, was the importance of community. And I really want to pass that on to you guys because I think it's so important to create community within your own teams, whether you have a team of 1 or 100 or 1,000, to create that feeling of belonging, because everybody wants to belong. We were built to belong. And so if you can create those experiences, you don't have to host a retreat in Palm Springs, but having a Zoom girls night, or even doing a girls night game in your team, or putting people in, in your Facebook group, in your message thread, or having in-person experiences if you feel comfortable with that. I just think there is nothing better than being in person. We've forgotten that through this whole pandemic. So I want to encourage you to do, like even just some kind of experience to bring you guys together, whether that be in person or via Zoom. But that was very, very powerful. And I honestly, truly believe it's something I've trained on before, is the power of community. I truly believe that's one of the reasons Team Nailed It is so successful, is because we have this community that, that I built, and then the leaders in this group have also built. And so it's like, we just have this amazing group of women, and that's something that I'm really proud of. I'm really proud of all of you, and this incredible community we have. So that was one of my biggest takeaways. I just want to encourage you to do, if you can, an in-person experience, whether it be like I have a friend, Polly Gage, who does like, a day get together with her team, or doing like a girls' night where you do just hang out. Like you do not have to do anything but hang out and chat. So that was one of them. The other one was getting back to the basics. It's so easy as we grow, as we've been in this company for a while, to forget those really basic things that are so essential in building our business. So getting back to those basics and remembering, the 4 P's power half hour checklist that I created for you guys. Those basic things, like those daily things that move the needle forward in your business. That was something I was like, oh yeah, like I need to get back to those myself. Like those really basic things. I think we all felt that, and so doing the parties, doing the posts, doing those personal messages, doing, growing our network of people and personal development, all those things are the things that they're the income producing activities. They're the things that move your business forward, that grow your team and grow your income. So getting back to those, and I was like, I haven't really like mailed out a ton of samples lately. Like samples are so huge. That was something I was like feeling almost like silly about. That one of my biggest takeaways was like, I need to mail more samples. Like how basic is that? But it really is that simple, and that was another takeaway I got was we need to simplify things in our business. We can sometimes make things so complicated, but really trying to simplify it for ourselves and for our teams. And one of the ways that I'm simplifying that I am loving right now is the training I did 2 weeks ago with April Simpson, talking about mega battle of the hostesses party. So having multiple hostesses in one party, I literally have one going on right now. I'm having so much fun doing it. And I was like, even if I just have one party for the month, if I've got multiple hostesses in it, it's as if I'm doing, one party a week with one hostess. So I might as well like go all in for this week, really work with my hostesses and do my best in this party. And it's already been, I've already like, these girls are already getting tons of sales and it's been amazing. So that's one thing is I'm just simplifying by doing like, more bang for my buck in this one thing. And then the other one was creating a customer series for, working with customer. Like when you give them a sample, what do you do after that? Do you just give them a sample and peace out? So coming up with like a follow-up system, that's something I'm going to be working on. And then I loved the product reviews idea that Trinity shared. I'll let you share it, Trinity, when it's your turn. But those were some of my biggest takeaways when we talked and did these mastermind chats. And so now I'm going to turn the time over to Ashley Doddridge. She is going to share her biggest takeaways. And then once we're all done speaking individually, I'm sure we'll kind of chat as a group overall. So go ahead, Ashley.
Hi, everybody. Hopefully I'm live. I can't see myself yet. So, okay. So one of the first things that I noticed, so a lot of us that earned the retreat this time, we were actually in Utah 2 years ago. And I thought it was really neat to see how we've all grown, because a lot of us were newer executives at the time that were kind of adjusting to focusing on our own business and leading a team. And, now 2 years later, just seeing how much we've all grown from that retreat was really amazing to me. But one of the biggest takeaways I had is just reminding myself to focus on the needle movers in my business. It is very easy to have a laundry list of things that you need to do, not only for your business, but your personal life, your family, and everything, and just asking yourself, what is going to move the needle? So, for example, this morning, we have the restocks. I have packages I need to mail. Like, what is going to move my needle? It's, getting a customer email out, posting about the restocks, reaching out to customers, not necessarily packaging up all the nails that I need to mail out. And just thinking about when you have your list of to-dos, what is the most important? What is going to grow your business? What is going to make you money? And making sure you're focusing on those. My other biggest takeaway, well, obviously reels. I was scared to start them. I have avoided them. But like Kelly always says, start messy, fail it till you nail it. And I feel like she may have created a monster. I was like researching reels for over 2 hours last night.
Yes.
Planning my content game for the week. Totally made a fool of myself this morning on TikTok. So all those good things. And, my final takeaway, which I haven't dug too far into, but I know a lot of us have, our recruiting has slowed down, and, things that we were doing maybe don't feel like they're working anymore. And so just, figuring out a new system. I know Trinity's got a great system that, works amazing for her. And so, what I've been doing for 3.5 years has always worked for me, but these past few months, it's been slower. And so I'm like looking for new ideas. I realize I need to pivot and just, continue to learn and grow and, find new ways to do things to continue to grow the business.
Love that. Thank you, Ashley. I can't wait to see all your reels. We're watching you now. I can't wait. Okay. I know you've got to go pretty soon. So thank you so much, Ashley, for hopping on while you could. And now, Trinity, you've got to go pretty soon. So we'll let you go next. Unmute yourself. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so I learned so much. It's even overwhelming just to try to nail it down to a few things. But I think I think one of having Leah there was game changing for me. And so one of the things that I liked was finding the simplest way to do things. And question number one, do I need to be doing this? But why? And is there a simpler way? And so I'm going to start reevaluating things and, trading my time for money. Like there's some things I need to be paying other people to do that is going to give me more time for the growth of my business and my team. And it's just time to do it. I don't have an assistant yet, which is still so crazy, but that's happening. That's going to happen. And then I love that she said, use a timer when you do things, because you don't realize how much time you're just, you think you're, you get this false sense of accomplishment by posting on Facebook. But then you end up scrolling and you might be on Facebook for an hour and a half and you don't even realize it. So I'm going to start using a timer. And then the last thing she said, this might be hard, but 5 p.m. or at some point, putting your phone in a drawer and focusing on, my kids, my pets, the things I love, and realizing that I don't need to work this business 24/7. I do not have to be accessible 24/7, and giving myself permission to put my time and efforts into things that better serve me, because we joined this business for time freedom. And if we're not getting time freedom, then are we even working this the right way? So those were 3 takeaways. And just to touch on what Kelly said, one thing that's working for me with the samples is I'm asking people to do product reviews. And so I'm just basically, sending them a set and asking them to do a product review, which women love to give their opinions on things, and sending them a full set gives them the ability to try the nails in a way that samples you. And they posted on my page, tag me, and I follow that up with them hosting a party. So just literally just, tweaking the way we word things can have a completely different outcome.
Totally. I'm so stoked to try that. Like that's happening. That's happening for me. I think that's so genius because it feels way less, it just feels way less spammy. I don't know, salesy. It just feels a little less aggressive, I guess. So I love that idea. I can't wait to start using my personal message time in the daily checklist to ask if they want to be a product reviewer. Love that, Trinity. Thank you. And yes, those balance tips. Leah, for those of you that don't know, Leah is my business coach. So I had her come and teach these women a little bit about balancing your business, because it's always a struggle for all of us. And so she shared some of those tips that Trinity shared, and they were super helpful because, we all struggle in that department. So thanks, Trinity, and feel free to leave when you need to. Who wants to go next? Anyone else need to hop off quickly or soon-ish?
I'll go, or someone else can go. It doesn't matter.
Okay, Kim, take it away.
Well, you already said some of mine, so I guess we have the same minds and we think a lot alike, but I'm sure the rest are that way as well. I feel like I spend too much time spinning my wheels. Like, I got a squirrel brain as it is. So it doesn't help when you're a leader of a large team and you get lots of messages and you have lots of things you want to do in your personal business. And then you feel like you need to be doing this and you need to be doing that. And this person's doing that. So I should probably try to do that too. But I think, we all came away with the takeaway of making things more simple, stop overcomplicating it. What is moving the needle? And we've all said that. What is moving the needle? That is probably my biggest takeaway. And one of the things that our guest speaker, Janice, said was that she starts with join. And if they say no to that, she goes to host. And if they say no to that, then she goes to buy. And if they say no to that, go to sample. And at some point they're going to say yes, right? They can't just keep saying no. So I like, what really moves the needle with your income and your team is having people join. So why don't we focus on that first? I mean, they can always say no, and then they can always say yes later after you get them to either buy or host or host or buy or try a sample. Like, I just feel like that was pretty smart. So I'm going to stop starting with a sample and starting at the top and then work my way down. And then I'll work my way back up again if I need to.
How are you going to do that? I want to hear, Kim. I'm putting you on the spot. How are you going to do that?
We're still working through that. I just got home yesterday since I spent 2 days traveling home from Palm Springs. I spent last night with my husband and my family because he left to go out of town today. That's an excellent question, but that's part of my system. It's going to be simple though.
Yes,
it is. I'm going to dumb it down and make it simple. So that it doesn't become overwhelming to try. Probably with my new people, not with my people that have been with me for a while, but whoever I come into contact with that I would normally go, the comments on my nails or whatever, I'm probably going to just start talking about what a blessing the business is and how much I love it in the community and all the things that we get from it. And then just kind of go from there.
Hey, Kim, can I jump in? Can I jump in really quick on that?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry to interrupt. So I lead with the business. This is the easiest, simplest way that I've learned. I start with the pricing. The minute we start talking about pricing, the best pricing is to be a stylist. You get 25% off. You get, so if that helps you, the minute you bring up pricing, that's where you can lead with the business because it just is a natural, as women, we want to save the most money. And so the best way to save the most money, join as a stylist. So I hope that helps you.
That's smart. I like that a lot.
Genius.
The other thing that my takeaway is I've wanted to get more into not into parties, I do parties, more into Instagram, but I'm not really an Instagram kind of girl. So I feel like doing the reels, you making us go outside and do a reel while we were talking about them after your training. I felt like an idiot. I really did. I felt stupid, but the draft that everyone chose was like the biggest idiot one where I had the mishap. But basically that has gotten me more traction in my basic Instagram group that I'm starting than any of the posts I've done. So obviously being an idiot works. Check mark, got that. I can do that really, really well.
Making it full of yourself works great.
I can be a hot mess like none other. So it's okay to be a hot mess, but doing the scary things. So this is what I challenge everyone to do. We're going into October. It's a scary month, right? The whole month revolves around scary. Do the scary things the month of October. Anything that has been scaring you, that has made you want to shy away from it, just push the button, jump in, do it, be a scary idiot or a funny idiot or a hot mess or whatever. It's not really going to matter at the end of the day, but what will matter is people watching.
That's such a cute idea, Kim. I freaking love that. We might have to make that an official challenge.
We'll make a banner.
We're gonna do something with that. That's brilliant. And I'm also gonna call you out because Kim just said, I thought I was not an Instagram kind of girl. And I want to say there is no Instagram kind of girl. Like there's no rules on Instagram. Yes, you see a lot of influencers. Yes, they look and act a certain way, but there's a lot of other randos on there too, doing random things. So, so there are no rules, you know, like for how you post and who can be on there and who not. And so, I want to challenge you guys all to try, you know, pushing yourself in that area. And like Kim said, October, let's do this. I love that, Kim. Okay, let's see. Kat, do you want to go next?
Sure. Yes, I would love to. Thank you. First, I want to say thank you, Kelly, for having the retreat. It was amazing. Just more than what I ever could have expected. So I don't know if everybody knows this, but this was my first retreat. And I was like starstruck. I'm probably like a lot of people watching, getting to meet and be around Kelly and Julie and Kim, and obviously Trinity and I are good friends. So I wasn't starstruck by her because I know her so well. But everybody there, I had seen their trainings. I had, you know, seen them at conference, and just getting to be around them was amazing, and getting to know everybody a little bit better. I was completely nervous. And if truth be told, I did have imposter syndrome where I felt like I don't belong here, as I'm sure a lot of people in this business may feel sometimes. But one of the things I learned was that these ladies are amazing. Like, they're the most caring group of people. They care about their downlines. They care about wanting everyone to have what we have, if you want it with this business. So that was something that, you know, that I kind of got to see behind the scenes. I got to hear people's stories. I got to see kind of the real people behind what I see on Facebook, and in trainings. And not that y'all aren't real, but it was the real. So it was really, really cool to do that. So I encourage everybody, if anybody can accomplish what we've accomplished. Work hard, be consistent. Definitely there's no special talents that I have. I mean, I'm consistent, kind of, and I have a long-term vision, and I have grit. So when things don't go right, I push through. So those really are the only things that I have that have kind of gotten me to where I am today. So if I can do it, anybody can do it. I learned about boundaries, setting boundaries, with my business. I had gone through a period where I was just pouring so much of myself into my team that I was neglecting my own business, and that I really need to focus on, like everybody's been saying, what moves the needle for me, what moves the needle for me and my business. And let's see, the email system was amazing. Learning about the email system for new stylists, that's definitely something that I'm interested in, having it planned out so you don't have to kind of tie yourself to making sure you're emailing people out on a certain date. And what I really liked, and I can't remember who said this, was when you send a sample, then following up and saying, if you order before this date, I'll give you another free set. I thought that was pretty genius, because that kind of gets them, you know, because sometimes we send samples and people don't put it on, or they say, oh, I'm going to try it next week, or I'm going to try it next week. So that gives them kind of a deadline, and also is a way to ask them to order, which sometimes that can be something maybe you feel awkward saying, okay, you liked it, when are you going to order? I think, having Leah there, like Trinity said, was amazing. Having Kat there was amazing. The other Kat, I loved
Kat
her.
with a K.
Yes, Kat with the K. It was so
You
nice.
guys, Kat is my assistant. So a lot of what I always say, there is no Kelly without Kat. Like half the stuff you see in our team page is posted by her. She helps me so much. I could not do half the crap I do without Kat. Like I'm not doing all the work. That's what I want you guys to know. Like she is helping me so much. It takes a team. It takes a village of people helping you. You can't do it alone. You shouldn't do it alone. We need each other. We need help. So yes, I'm glad you mentioned her, Kat.
Yeah. Oh my
Kat was
gosh.
key.
I just loved everybody that was there. Love. And what Kim said, it's so funny what Kim just said about doing the scary things. I wanted to say, y'all may not know, but I won the pink elephant prize from Kelly. And this book was in there and it's amazing. And it talks about how it's called Fear is My Homeboy. I've started reading it. I'm almost on chapter 3. And that's what this book is about. Embracing the fear, doing the scary things. So Kim, you were spot on with that. That's, and I don't know if you've done a book study on this book, but it's just great. Like I'm reading it and I'm like,
So
yes. Oh, and the last thing that I learned is next time I'm picking the rap song.
Hang on, let me mute Erin.
Oh, it's all good.
Let me mute everyone.
Next time I'm picking the rap song, not Trinity. I'm picking the rap song.
Yeah, you guys need to go watch. Everyone needs to go watch Trinity rap. It'll just make your day.
And I don't know if I said this in the beginning, which I probably did, but I want to say it again. I just want to say, Lindsay, Coco, we're thinking about you, and you know, I really hope that she's doing okay. Yeah. Well, I know we're all thinking about her. Okay. And then that's it.
Thank you, Kat. And I'm going to add to that really quick. She talked about imposter syndrome. And I think I have to say, many of the women that were coming have expressed in one way or the other that they didn't feel like, you know, they were kind of getting in their heads and feeling like they weren't worthy to come or they didn't belong or whatever. And I just want everyone on our team to know that you belong here. Like you can sit with us. There is, you're here for a reason. And so, you know, when you hear those like inner mean girl words, be nice to yourself and remember that we all love you, you know, and that you're doing the best you can. That's all you can do. Right. All right, let's see. We've got, is there anyone, I know we've got Rachel just hopped on, Erin just hopped on. Erin or Rachel, I know you're in your lunch break. Do you want to go next?
Sure. I don't want to be repetitive though. So
repetition is good, guys. We all needed to hear some of those same things. Like I said, I was like, samples, my mind is blown. Like, you know what I mean? So go ahead, repeat all you want.
Are we just talking main takeaways?
Yep, just share a few minutes of your best takeaways from the retreat.
Okay, well, let me pull up my notes here.
Your face isn't showing, by the way.
Oh, sorry, because I was just pulling up notes. Okay, I just wanted to peek real quick. Okay, here I'm back. So I'm so pumped about Reels. Thank you so much, Kelly, for sharing about that, because yesterday I went through and I saved all these awesome audios that are like, you know, short trending noises, sounds, audio, whatever. And I've got all these ideas. So now I just need to take some action and do some Reels. I've been so exhausted though since we got back because our flight was delayed, and then I've been back to work full time. And so anyways, time to do some work. So pumped about Reels. I think that Kelly, did you already do a training in here on Reels?
No, I definitely need to.
Yes. Yeah. Cause I know a lot of my team has been feeling the same way that I have about like, I had gotten my feet wet with it, but you just taught us so much more about details on how to make it easier. Like I had no idea how to save audio. I had no idea how to like put little clips together. I had no idea, you know, the shorter, the better, none of that stuff. So I think that if we can get a Reels training, I think that would be super beneficial to everybody. Right. Am I frozen? Am I good?
Oh, you're good.
Okay. You just froze for a minute. And then I think a huge thing was just, remember why we do this. Like, we do this for freedom. So we don't want to be slaves to our phones just because we can work from our phones. It's so easy to just grab our phones and work whenever, and it can interrupt our lives, our families' lives. And we need to set boundaries for ourselves, whether that's work hours or whether that's like put the phone in a drawer after a certain time. And I know for me, I personally struggle with that because I work full time. I'm a teacher. I'm also in grad school. I have my own business. I have my team, and I also have like a sick dog. We all have a million things. So you have to do what's best for you. You have to figure out a system that's going to work best for you. But having those boundaries is going to make your life so much better. And just remembering that we do this for freedom. So don't give up your freedom and be a slave to your phone. So I really needed to hear that, as well as just knowing that however you're feeling in this business, you're not alone. Someone else is either feeling that way too, or has felt that way. Lean on your sideline sisters, your uplines, your downlines, talk to someone when you need to, but also like you posted, I think that was yesterday, Kelly, Janice Hayes, how she was talking about personal development. Like if you're not in your own, if you're in your head and you're not in the right mindset, you're going to struggle in your business. So get step away from the business to fix yourself with personal development, and then come back and you'll be able to refocus. But that doesn't mean that you can't lean on your sideline sisters and your teammates when you are struggling, because chances are whatever you're struggling with, someone else is struggling as well. And without looking at my notes, only other thing I can say is power hours. We all kind of talked about how there's so many things to do, and we know all the things to do, but then we sit down and we kind of freeze, which is why power hours or power half hours or power 20 minutes are so important. And especially because, like Kelly, you have that checklist of the power hour that you turn into power half hour or whatever. And so just having a list of things to do instead of just sitting down and freezing, like, okay, I have so much to do, I don't even know where to start, and then you do nothing, which is totally me when I'm overwhelmed, and a lot of other leaders felt the same way. So having a list, like a daily list to do for your own business, if you have a team, or especially a large team, maybe you have a daily power hour list for just your team, and then things that can be done weekly. Maybe you have a weekly power hour list, a quarterly or monthly power hour list, but you have to figure out what it is that you need to do for your business. So that way, when you sit down, you know what to focus on, and you're not just scrolling it out and winging it like many of us do.
Yeah. And something I was thinking of at the retreat was, like if my power hour doesn't speak to you, my power half hour, I don't even like to say hour because it's overwhelming. Even an hour is overwhelming. Power half hour. If my power half hour doesn't speak to you, make your own, like customize it and make your own. Because if you come up with it yourself, you're going to be a lot more like tied to it and committed to it versus like, printing off mine. So, and maybe yours just looks a little different or says different wording, but sometimes we have to like make it our own for it to really mean something.
For sure. Like when we were talking about what do we include in it, Lindsay and I were talking about how, well, maybe what I do is going to look slightly different from what she does. We just want to get ideas from people, and then, start doing something, like you say, Kelly, start sloppy. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just start something, just do anything. And you'll see what you'll decide what needs to go or what can stay, or you'll figure it out once you start trying. But one other thing, did anyone mention Trinity's funnel system yet?
She kind of talked about it, but not in specifics.
Okay, so if you haven't seen Trinity Hansen's Connect the Dots, apparently there's two of them because it like cut out on one. So there's like part one, part two. But she talked all about her funnel system, and it's amazing because we sometimes I think we kind of get frozen on, okay, how do we continue to make these connections on social media, and how do we take people from like cold to warm to hot market, and who do we talk to about samples, who do we talk to about the opportunity or hosting. So her funnel system was really, really good to kind of give you ideas on how to keep reaching out to people and connecting people and moving them from like cold to warm to hot, which is what we need, because we got all these friends in social media. We got to connect with them. Otherwise, we're not going to be utilizing them in our businesses.
Yes. And maybe I'll have her post that video to the team, and I'll post the Power Half Hour, just little things to remind you guys. Thank you so much, Rachel. That was awesome. And now we're going to have Erin Stones chat with us because she's got to go soon. So Erin, you're up next.
All right. Hey guys. Sorry, I had an appointment for my daughter, an orthodontic appointment that we made over 2 months ago, and it's now, and she's inside and I'm out here. So
You
sorry.
got we're making it work.
I'm like, text me if it gets bad and I need to get in there. Anyway. So I'm going to say one of the things that, and I don't know what everybody else has said, but one thing I can say that I walked away from this that gave me some comfort and reassurance is that all of the people that were there, have all been successful in this business, even if we have had our self-doubt and we've struggled, and all of us are trying to, figure things out right now, but we have all done things very differently, and yet we've still managed to be successful. So what I'm going to tell you from that is what you're doing is not wrong. You're not doing the wrong things as long as you're doing something. Make sure you're doing something. I know there's 9 million trainings. There's 9 million ideas. There's so many different ways that are being thrown at you all the time. So you need to find what works for you. Just like making that power hour, tailor it to the way that you work. If you're always trying to do something the way someone else does it, and it just doesn't feel right or doesn't work well for you, that's okay. Find what's going to work for you and what's going to help you move your business forward. Because all of those people that you saw at the retreat, all of the people that you look at in the business that have been successful, they have done things differently, and that's okay. So you don't have to be like everybody else.
Amen.
And I love that because, when I go to these retreats, believe it or not, I have panic attacks. It's really hard for me to pack my stuff. I packed at 2:30 in the morning the day I was leaving because I struggle with, oh my gosh, do I fit in? Have I done enough work? Have I proven myself? And I'm always like trying to figure out if I've done the right things to be able to claim my success in my business. And of course I have. And everybody needs to remember that as long as you're doing something, you're doing it right. Okay. And are there always things that we can do better and that we can change and that we can improve? Of course there is. But as long as you are making some kind of effort and learning from your mistakes and learning from the things that don't go right, you're going to continue to move forward in this business. And you do not have to do things the way Erin Stones does things. And if you look at the way I do things and you're like, oh my gosh, she's crazy, why does she do that? Then don't do it. If you see things that people are doing and it doesn't feel like it will work for you, then find something new, right? But don't. I'm going to totally counteract myself here, or contradict myself. But if you see something and you're like, oh my gosh, that's so scary, I don't know if I could ever do that, try it. And if it works for you, great, right? Like, we fail forward in this business, and you do that by trying new things and not being afraid for them to not go perfectly well. The other thing I can tell you is that all of those people that you saw at the retreat, we're all normal, just like you guys. There's nothing that makes us any more special than anybody else. And if you're trying to figure out how to get there, just look at the work ethic. All of the people that are at that retreat, I can tell you they put their heart, their soul, their energy, and sometimes they put too much of it into making this business everything for them. And if you're trying to figure out what is different, it might be the work ethic. All of the people there have worked so hard, not just for themselves, but to support everyone in this business and everyone on this team. We all want people to feel and to experience the success that Color Street has to offer. And some of us will go to our graves over answering messages, and we want this so badly for everybody, and our heart and souls go into it. But one thing that somebody said that has stuck with me and really made me reevaluate the way I'm looking at my business is I think it was Leah, Kelly's business coach, that said, for every yes, you're saying no to something else. And it's true. So every time I'm saying yes to going to a vendor event or to hosting another party or doing these things, I'm saying no to something else in my life, and learning to have a good balance of when you say yes to your family, yes to your personal life, yes to your mental health, yes to your business, is so important. You have to find that balance. I can't always say yes to the business. I just can't, because that means I'm saying no to everything else that's important. And as you've heard or at least Rachel mention, you need to be in a good place for your business to be in a good place. So remember that your health is just as important as the health of your business. So.
Amen. Preach, girl, preach. That's what I was telling the ladies at the retreat. I'm like, guys, if I could give you one gift, I gave you fall park socks, but the best gift besides the fall park socks that I could give you is like living the lifestyle that you want to live and creating success on your own terms, not what everyone else says, so that you have that time for your family, for your mental health, for your body, all those things. And that to me is true success. So thank you so much, Erin. I appreciate you saying that. All right, we've got
Headed back to the kiddo.
Okay, thanks. Bye. Okay, Mandy. Mandy has her
Hi.
cute baby.
Thank you.
You're next. We're gonna try to concentrate, but we're all gonna be staring at your adorable baby.
Well, I'm gonna make this short and sweet. So I think for me, my biggest takeaway this weekend was seeing the people in person and not just what we see on Facebook. And we see all these, amazing leaders, get to the top, and we don't know their stories. We don't know their struggles. And sometimes I feel like we judge a book by its cover, and we think to ourselves, like, they had it easy, or any thoughts, that come to our minds thinking how they got to the top. And every single person has their own story. Everybody has their struggles, and everybody has their different whys. And it was reassuring to me that I'm not, like, everybody struggles. And I don't think that we always see that because we see the success of everybody else. So it was nice to know that, like, I wasn't the only one struggling to book parties or recruit. And we always have the times that it's not as hard, but I really appreciated the honesty and openness of people just explaining that they do struggle. So that was just really nice to see the real side of people versus like the highlight reel on Facebook and social media. And then the one thing that really stuck with me was, I can't remember who said it, but buy your time. That kind of like resonated with me because I know a lot of people have help in the business, and I've been struggling to outsource because I just don't know, like, I don't know if I'm there yet. But then when you put it into those words, buy your time, it's like, would I rather be doing this or spend time with my family? Like, I can be giving someone $10 to do this for me so I can have a little bit more time with my family and make memories. So buying your time versus like buying other things, like, it just was like, wow, that makes a lot of sense. So
Totally. And I love what you said about everybody's stories, because Mandy, like, it was so cool hearing, we'd be like at dinner chatting and someone would like share just a little backstory about them or about their Color Street journey. And we'd be like, wow, like, look how far you've come. We forget each other's stories, or we don't know each other's stories. And yeah, it's easy to only see like the glamorous highlights and not see like, holy crap. I mean, all these women have been through so much, including myself. And, we got here by like a lot of hard freaking work, and a lot of overcoming challenges. And, even our guest speakers, even my assistant, like everyone struggles. And that's why we need community. To know we're not alone. That's why we need each other in this team. That's why we need these get-togethers, these events. Like, that's why it's important to create those types of things, to realize I'm not alone. And that's why it's important to find accountability partners to help you on this journey so that you're not feeling alone. So thanks for reminding me that. of us of that, Mandy.
Yeah.
Were you finished? I didn't want to cut you off. Were you finished?
Yes, I am finished, but I just want to finish with this. I don't remember the whole quote, but I just posted it on my story the other day. So it was a TikTok from Kevin Hart, and just a little piece of it was, if you start something, finish it, don't quit, because the only thing you're going to get out of quitting is just knowing that you quit. That's it. So.
Amen. Amen. Thank you so much, Mandy, and thanks for showing us your adorable baby.
You're welcome.
Okay, Julie, are you the last one? Is there anyone else? Okay, Julie, your turn. Take it away.
Hey guys. So yeah, I was so glad. I was like counting down the days for this retreat for a lot of reasons, and I think I have like a bunch of like just sloppy notes in front, but but I'm still like everybody else. I was a little bit nervous to still come. I know there were a lot of us that were nervous to come, and once I got there, it just felt so refreshing to be around. I mean, I knew most of the ladies, but there was a few that I didn't get to know, and it was really cool to be able to sit and hear their stories. So I really just felt like it was like a resounding, we're all in this together. Like, I think like a lot of these ladies have said is that we put each other, like we see the things on social media and we just assume everybody's got it all together. They all, work their business in the right amount of time and they have everything, done right. But we're all just freaking hot messes, just trying to do the best we can. And it was kind of refreshing to see that. So one thing, I have a couple of things, but Reels totally freaked me out because as much as I can come online and like go live or like lead a whole team and I feel confident in those things, I'm not not an extroverted person. I don't like to dance. I don't like to like make a fool out of myself. And so Reels have been really intimidating in my own head. And before we went, Kelly said, what would you guys like me to train on? And like everybody said Reels, and I was kind of glad. And then I said, you're going to have to force me. Like, you're going to have to like make me do it in order for me to actually do it. And there was a moment where she did. She like said, okay, you guys have 10 minutes. Now everybody go do it. And I was like sweating bullets trying to do it myself. And then when I did it, I realized like, you know what? It's okay to be a beginner. It feels good to be a beginner sometimes. And we all needed to be beginners. So if you guys see us and you see our Reels, just know there's a lot of like courage that happens in order for people to do that. Yes. And it really made me feel like, okay, it's good to be a beginner again. And it's good to do something that I don't feel comfortable in, because we all are like that, especially when we start this business, we don't know what we're doing, but the more we do it, the more practice we have, the better we get. So that was one thing that was really like needed for me. And now I just have to keep doing it. So I think we're going to need a training from Kelly or like all of us to do like mini trainings with our teams or something. And then we're just going to have to force you guys to do it because it will change your business too. Okay. There's a couple more things too. So we did have a point during the time where we were kind of sharing our stories, and this was things I had never heard of, like from a lot of these girls. I didn't realize how they started or the struggles that they had to get there. And one thing that I really really stood out to me as I was listening to everybody's stories is that we all started from struggle. Like every single person who was there had something that they were struggling with, and that was the why that pushed them forward in this business to work so hard. And that was my why when I first started. Like I had debt, and I had things that I needed to do, getting my husband home. Like I had all these huge goals and financial goals and personal goals and all of these things. And then, slowly but surely those things started happening. Like I worked really hard. Okay. I'm not saying they just happened and I didn't do anything. I worked really hard for those things to come to fruition. But then I kind of found myself in this weird place of, well, now what? Like how do I still make a new goal? Like, what's my why now? And like when I was there, I definitely broke down and I wasn't prepared for that. I didn't think I was going to start crying, but I did, because it was like an epiphany for me. Like, what? Just because you've already fulfilled your why, like the things that got you started in this business doesn't mean that you can't make a new one. And my new why, the thing that's pushing me forward, the thing that's driving me in this business, has absolutely nothing to do with money at all. It has everything to do with me actually being a present mom and a present wife, which I have failed miserably at because I have allowed myself to be, gosh, it's going to make me, I need to stop. Because I've allowed myself to be available to my team at all times and everybody else too, because my heart is to help everyone, because I see how much this business has changed my life. I want that for everyone else. But in that process, sometimes I could like overshadow other people that may have amazing things to say too, but they know Julie's just going to go answer, or Julie's going to do this. So, you know, at one point I said, I only have 2 more years with my oldest son at home. And like, am I going to look back and be like, I'm so glad I worked every single minute of every single day so that I could have this business that provides for our family? Or will I be okay if I say, no, I need to take some time to create actual business hours and be more present with my family, and that I am worthy of not needing to prove myself, and that I'm worthy of being a present mom and wife, and that could be my why. Like, really did help like blow my mind. And I didn't realize I needed to say the things. I didn't realize I needed to do the things. So if you see a little less of me, that's why. It's not that I don't love this business. I'm not going anywhere. It is that I need to prioritize other things, and that my why is going to be bigger. So that was a like heavy part for me. And then you guys, I literally don't think I have laughed that hard like maybe ever. I had like full on tears streaming down my face. We played games, and these girls are freaking competitive and hilarious. Kelly's assistant is like my favorite person ever. She's
the
hilarious.
funniest human ever.
She's so funny, you guys. And I don't like, I could barely even keep my composure. It was so funny. And I mean, you need to laugh like that sometimes. You need to like have fun and let loose and like just like be in the moment. And I really felt like in that moment, I didn't know where my phone was. I didn't care where my phone was. I was just having fun with these ladies. And it was really, I don't know, it was just fun to see all of our like fun sides come out and to just laugh. So that was another one of the big takeaways.
Yeah, because Leah said something, I just gotta chime in on that one. Leah said, one of my goals I wrote down was to literally laugh out loud more. And I was like, that's such a good goal.
Mm-hmm.
And she said that early on in the retreat. And then like, we did a whole heck of a lot of that.
Oh my God.
Especially during our game night. So mission accomplished, check. Like yes. That was so fun. I think that's a really good goal in general, just to like try to find opportunities to LOL more.
Yes.
You know?
I think it's easy. And I talked to Kelly about this on the way home, but like, it is easy as women, as business owners, to feel like in the last 2 years, we don't need other people. Like, oh no, I got good at being home. I'm fine by myself. I have online community. What do I need people in person for? This is all stuff I've told myself over the last 2 years. And what I have found is that I have been so recluse and like been in my office, and I'm like, nope, I don't need to go outside of these 4 walls because I have community. It's online. I don't need community in person. And I'm like, that is such a lie. Like seeing actual people in real life like brought life back to me, you know, like I needed that. And it really has opened my eyes to be like, how can I do this more? If this is the kind of like community that I crave, I need to be doing things. I don't care if it's 1 or 2 stylists that are local to you. Getting together with them or getting together with your friends is going to change you, and it's going to change them. So like, it's just so important. You guys, don't believe the lie that you don't need people, because I've believed it for almost 2 years now, and it's just a lie. So anyway.
It is. And I do the same. And I was like, nope, I got to start going to pickleball nights more.
Right.
Like Lindsay and I were talking about how Lindsay has a bunko night with her friends. And yeah, women need other women. Like we need that community, that connection. So on that note, I'm going to wrap it up because I have a business call with Leah next in 3 minutes. But it was such an amazing experience, but we wanted to share with you all the things we learned because like I said, I wish I could include all of you there, but it would be insane to have that many people there. But we have this amazing community here. And so I want to encourage you all to find ways to, create more community yourself within your own team or with your friends or whatever it is. And thanks you guys for all your takeaways. It was good for me to hear again. And now let's go take action. All right. Bye.